Well, for years, Atlanta drivers knew to look to the skies for traffic updates thanks to our Gridlock Guy, Doug Turnbull, circling around in his helicopter. But these days, he's traded in that altitude for some asphalt. He's down here on the ground now. And he joins us from the 11Alive Traffic Impact Tracker. Doug, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's an honor to be back on with you. I was off last week, and I think you had some time off before that, so it's good to be back with you in this big seat here.
Yes, indeed. How different does it feel to be reporting traffic from the driver's seat instead of the skies?
Well, it's certainly different just because you're used to, well, I was used to in between traffic reports in my previous stop, you run out and get in a helicopter. And of course I was on radio, so I was getting there wearing sandals and shorts and things like that. That's not really a thing on TV, right? But in the skies, you're up above everything. You see this macro perspective and you can go places a lot faster. However, a morning like this, Chesley, where you dial up a little cloud, a little fog action, that might have kept us on the ground, and that never stopped the 11Alive Traffic Impact Tracker that I'm riding in right now. We were able to ride without any hindrance all morning long, and while it takes longer to go places, I also have more signal. We have internet built into this truck. I'm using my full laptop. I'm helping Rachel Cox-Rosen, who's in the studio and has her hands full, building maps and walking back and forth to the set. I'm helping her find new traffic problems, and then we are able to communicate together to figure out where I drive to next and what I cover. So I'm a lot more connected in the truck, but it takes longer to go places. And then, Chesley, when I get to those places, I can get right up close and see what's happening here. Our photographer to my left, Stephen Boise, knows all the good little places to park to get us those good shots.
Which do you like better? You like being on the road or you like being in the air better?
I mean, the helicopter is a way better icebreaker at a party, all right? So, I mean, of course, because hardly anybody's in helicopters anymore, but it makes a lot more financial sense and even logistical sense to be in the position we are now in the Traffic Impact Tracker. So I really like them both, and it's really a huge honor here after I had 20 years off and on being in a helicopter to get to be here with this great team at 11Alive and do this. And be on with you too, Chesley, by the way.
I appreciate that. Yeah. What's one of the things you have seen or experienced that you got on the ground that you couldn't get from 1,000 feet up in the air?
Well, how about any kind of crash or traffic delay in or near the airport? That's the first thing that comes to mind. The Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International does allow the helicopters to come through and cover things, but you really have to decide, do I really want to put my pilot through this ordeal of raising the control tower and trying to thread the needle in between jumbo jets taking off to go look at a crash in a right lane on 285? There's no question we could go look at that when it's Boise and me. Also, too, when it's really dark, it's hard to see things from up top, and we get on the roads usually at 5:30 in the morning, so if there is construction or something like that, we can pull right up on it. We also, at DeKalb Peachtree Airport in the helicopter, that we couldn't take off until 6 o'clock because of a noise ordinance, too. So we had several things going against us that we can circumvent here in the truck.
Yeah. All right. One of the things I know you got on your mind now is the big time change that's coming to our area, which means back to school, right? And knowing how to behave in those school zones. Share some tips, man, about how we should navigate this back to school traffic.
All right, I need everybody watching here on 11Alive Plus, either live or if you're watching the replay, to lock in, okay? You got to be alert in school zones. And I know that seems obvious, but we are more and more distracted by these guys, by our phones. You need your eyes on the road and the hands on the wheel, as Jim Morrison said, and you need to dial down those speeds. 25 miles an hour, if you were to unfortunately hit a child or a pedestrian in a work zone, your chances of surviving 25 miles an hour are something like twice that if you were to hit somebody at 35. That's why those school zones have the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, so mind your speeds. And beware, when you're leaving a neighborhood, if you're new to the neighborhood and there's a school in it or a bus route, it could take you several minutes longer to get out of that neighborhood on the first day of school. And we'll also see traffic patterns in a macro sense really after Labor Day get to where it's like, oh my gosh, school's back in. So watch 11Alive, watch 11Alive Plus, leave early, and be alert. Those are some good tips.
There you go. All right, Doug Turnbull, Gridlock Guy. Really appreciate your insight, man. Thanks for being with us today.